Most of you, if not all of you, know me. I'm Deacon J Riley. I had the privilege of serving in the United States Coast Guard from 13 April 1973 until 12 April 1977. While I did see plenty of action, I saw no combat action. All my action was in search and rescue missions on the Chesapeake Bay in Virginia. So while I didn't have people shooting at me or bombs going off, I did put my life on the line every day in service to our country. And I was proud to do it. And there are plenty of my fellow veterans here in the church with me. Are there any Army veterans? Please stand. Stand. How about Air Force veterans? How about fellow Coast Guard veterans? I didn't think there were too many of us around. How about Navy veterans? How about Marine veterans? And any Space Service veterans? Ladies and gentlemen, these men also put their life on the line every day to serve our country. Thank you, gentlemen. Please be seated. But today is not a day for celebrating us, veterans. That's November 11th. That's Veterans Day. Today is a day to celebrate people like Father Vincent Capodanno. He was a Maryknoll priest who was not a police chaplain, that's me. He was a military chaplain assigned to the Marines in Vietnam. I'm probably going to break down while I'm reading this because this always touches my heart in a very special way. This is a letter written by Lieutenant Joseph E. Pilon, a Navy doctor, Christmas of 1967. He writes, "Over here, Vietnam, there is a written policy that if you get 3 Purple Hearts, you go home within 48 hours. On Labor Day, that was September 5th, 1967, our battalion ran into a world of trouble. When Father C., Father Capodanno, arrived on the scene, it was 500 Marines against 2,500 North Vietnamese Army regulars. Needless to say, we were constantly on the verge of being completely overrun, and the Marines on several occasions had to advance in a retrograde movement. This left the dead and the wounded outside the perimeter as the Marines slowly withdrew. Casualties were running high, and Father C. had his work cut out for him. Early in the day, he was shot through the right hand, which all but shattered his hand. One corpsman patched him up and tried to medevac him, but Father C. declined, saying he had work to do. A few hours later, a mortar landed near him and left his right arm in shreds, hanging from his side. Once again, he was patched up, and once again, he refused evacuation. There he was, moving slowly from wounded to dead to wounded, using his left arm to support his right as he gave absolution or last rites. when he suddenly spied a corpsman get knocked down by a burst of an automatic weapon. The corpsman was shot in the leg and couldn't move, and understandably panicked. Father C. ran out to him and positioned himself between the injured boy and the automatic weapon. Suddenly, the weapon opened up again, and this time riddled Father C. from the back of his head to the base of his spine. And with his third Purple Heart of the day, Father C. went home. 27 bullets in his spine is what finally killed him. The second Navy chaplain to ever win the Congressional Medal of Honor. These are the kind of people we honor today. The people who put their life on the line, not just in service to our country, but in service to others. And they paid for it with their lives. Jesus says, no greater love there is than to lay down your life for a friend. My dear brothers and sisters, this is what Jesus calls all of us to put our very life on the line every day in service to Him and to our brothers and sisters. It's not that we have to give up our lives. It's not that we have to die, but we have to die to self, so that when we die as Jesus's, so we can go to heaven. So yes, today, let's allow ourselves to be sad for Father C., for Father Capone. He's a Korean War veteran who lost his life in Korea. For the young boys I knew growing up, Luis Cabrera, and Donnie Perito. I'm sure we all know someone, maybe even have family members who lost their lives in service to the country. Let's honor them. But let's also remember that we not only owe them a great debt of gratitude, but we owe our Savior a greater debt of gratitude. And He asks us to lay down our lives every day in service to our brothers and sisters. And to borrow a line from a man whom I consider a dear friend, Deacon Bart Zavaleta, praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever.